Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to week number 2 of the W12 Sprint Series. We're back, and we've drawn Zandvoort in the LMP2s, and it's wet at the moment. The first time ever it's wet in the W12 Sprint Series. My name is Dan Pepels. Next to me in the commentary booth is Edwin Forslund. As was the case last week. Edwin, welcome in. Last week was an absolute thriller. We had Magny-Cours with the rallycross car. We had Sao Paulo with the TCRs. All in all, it was a good week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very interesting to see the racing with the different type of disciplines. So, going from originally like a off-road car into a front-wheel drive car. But doesn't like to slide at all. It's quite the difference. But the racing was quite good in both of the races. So I'm looking forward to tonight, especially the first one here.
So is everyone else. Let's have a look then at our calendar for this season. We had round 1 last week, obviously on the 28th. The 4th of November is this week. We have round number 2. Then next week on the Monday we have round number 3 on the 11th of November. The 18th of November we have round number 4. Round number 5 on the 25th of November. And the 2nd of December we round off already the 7th season of the W12 Sprint Series. With the results that we had last week, this is how the championship is looking. Mirko Bortolotti leads the overall championship on 69 very nice points. Marius Zuk in second on 51, and Benedict Hits 3 points behind that on 48 in third. Then it's Hendrik Augustin in fourth, Rafael Renhofer in fifth, Markus Steffel in sixth, Marinko Jordanowski in seventh, Maximilian Paul in eighth, Leon Blum in ninth, Andrea Frasinetti in P10. P11, Martin Stadtmann, Robert Heger in 12th, Niels Langeveld 13th. A bit disappointing of a week for him last time round. Let's see if he can do better this week. Robert Koppler in 14th, Florian Becker 15th, Ben Green 16th, Philippe Gren in 17th, Ivan Ferrari in 18th, Hugo Zasse 19th, and Florian Stadtmann in P20. The Silver Championship is looking as follows. Stefano Pellegrino absolutely dominating there, Edwin. 25 points, that's 11 points more than Florian Stadtmann in second. Then 3 points behind that is Christian Ableser in third. Only a point in between him and Mario Trummer in fourth. Then 9 points for Jan Lins, only a point in between him and Mario Trummer as well. 2 points back to Philippe Ugran. Lucas Baza on 5 points, and Moritz Hametner in 8. Talking about the results that we had last week, this was the first server, Edwin. We started with the heats. The qualifying was won on the pole position by Markus Steffel. To be honest, in the first heats, the heat that decides pole position, he kind of disappointed me a little. Did manage to get through, but only qualified in 8th place. Or in 7th place, excuse me. He finished P4 in heat number 1. Heat number 2 was won by a very dominant Mirko Bortolotti. We did see, though, in that race that if you didn't fuel safe, you had to go into the pits to make a pit stop. So that was quite a strange one, wasn't it?
It's just a matter of them not running out of fuel on the track. So
yeah, exactly.
It was definitely a thriller.
Yeah, exactly. Then we got the consolation race, which decided the positions 11 to all the way down to how many participants we have on the evening. Leon Blum won that, and then Robert Heger in second. That's the points there. Then it's Mirko Bortolotti who won the feature race quite dominantly as well. Benedict Hits with Hendrik Augustin rounded off the podium. Then it was Rafael Renhofer and Marius Zuk in fourth and fifth. Markus Steffel with a bit of a different strategy to the others. He pitted 1 time more than Mirko Bortolotti did. He went full attack, not fuel saving at all. Then Leon Blum in 7th, Robert Koppler in 8th, Martin Stadtmann in 9th, Maximilian Paul 10th, Robert Heger 11th, Florian Stadtmann in 12th, Florian Becker in 13th, 14th, Ben Green, Stefano Pellegrino 15th, and Mario Trummer deserved the last point in P16. In the feature race, it was as follows for the Silvers. Florian Stadtmann won that with an overall position of 9th. Then Stefano Pellegrino in P2, Mario Trumma in P3, Stefano Pellegrino or Philippe Augrin in 4th, Jan Lins P5, and Moritz Hametna in 6th. Then we went to server number 2, Interlagos, with the TCRs. Tell us a bit more about that, Edwin.
Position.
I'm sorry, you cut out for me a little bit.
Tell us a bit more about how Interlagos in the TCRs went, the second server that we did last week.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so we had a different pole sitter in that one, which was Ben Hitz, who showed that he was quite quick in the car, but then he just got a bad start in the first race. So where of course the two Italians, Mirko Bortolotti and Andrea Frazinetti, getting absolute monumental starts and like well in the lead coming into turn 1. So but yeah, we had of course Stefano Pellegrino taking P1 in the silver in the first heat, and then Christian Ablaser second, Florian Stadtmann third, Lucas Base fourth, Jan Lintz 5th, and Mario Trumme in 6th. And overall, we had Mirko Bortolotti winning, of course. Drove excellently that race. And Raphael Reinhofer in 2nd, Andrea Frazinetti in 3rd, Mario Suk in 4th, Nils Langeveld in 5th, and 6th was Marenko Jordanovsky, 7th Robert Hieger, 8th Leon Blum, 9th Hendrik Augustin, then Ferrari, then Ben Green, then Maximilian Paul, and then, like I said, the pole sitter Ben Hitz all the way down in 13th. So it was quite a disappointing race for him, but it went better in the second race at least. So, but yeah, then after that we have Martin Stadtmann, Florian Becker, and Stefano Pellegrino. So,
I mean, a good first race, let's be honest, with Mirko Bortolotti winning. You did say, of course, it has become, even to you, quite a thing that you become accustomed to. 6-time champion in the W12 Sprint Series, Mirko Bortolotti. So, I mean, not really a surprise to me that he won that race, but he had to work for it. Raphael Reinhofer was quicker than him, but he couldn't quite catch up to him after his fight with Andrea Frazinetti, his Italian friend, helping him out there. Then Markus Steffel, who won the feature race, Maximilian Paul 2nd, Marius Zug 3rd, Benedikt Hitz 4th, Marinko Jordanovsky in 5th. Mirko Bortolotti in the feature race, though, after an incident, only being able to finish in P6. We say only because we're used to him winning, but that was a monumental drive from Mirko Bortolotti back through the field after he got involved in an incident in turn 1 and 2 at Sao Paulo. Let's go back to the action. We are in qualifying at the moment. Mirko Bortolotti has set his lap time. Let's see if there's anyone yet out on track. Looks like we've had most of our laps already. But Zandvoort in the rain with the LMP2s. It's going to bring us an interesting dynamic, especially with the fact that Maximilian Paul is on the dries. And all the rest of the drivers in the top 7 are on the wets. That's enough for Lucas Baza, but that already is qualifying done and dusted for you. 33 drivers with us this evening, which is amazing to see. Let's go to the grid for Heat 1 though. Here we have Andrea Frazinetti, the Italian, at the front of the field for 07 Racing. Then Benedikt Hitz in P2, Hendrik Augustin in 3rd. 4th for Robert Hega, 5th for Jonas Vanna. Raphael Reinhofer in P6, then P7 for Hugo Rob. He's finally back this week with the W12 Sprint Series, together with Gazex. Then Marinko Jordanovsky in 8th, P9, which we did skip somewhere. There he is. Niels Langeveld in P9, Ivan Ferrari 10th. Michael Dürlinger in P11, P12 for Florian Becker. Stefano Pellegrino in 13th, 14th for Lucas Baza, 15th for Florian Stadtmann, and 16th for Mario Trumma. Rounding off the grid though is Thomas Pieper in 17th. Quite a big first heat race, Edwin. A lot of drivers in this one. More so than we saw last week because we have a bigger grid. But at this track, it's going to be difficult to pass, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, personally, this is a combination of track and car I haven't driven, especially not with the weather either. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this track handles this many LMP2 cars. So no, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure. Very tight racing. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
This is Hendrik Augustin. I love that livery, Edwin. It's to me one of the best liveries. But I mean, this is one thing to witness.
Let's be real here. You already know, mate, that my favorite drink is Monster and my favorite type of livery is Monster. So you already know that's the goated livery.
Well, it's time for the first race here at Zandvoort after qualifying, where Andrea Frazinetti put it on the pole position. Here is your pole sitter. The lights go out, and we have not the best start from Andrea Frazinetti. Once again, pole sitter not getting away well. I have a feeling some of these drivers might be on the wets and some on the dries. I can tell you that Andrea Frazinetti is on the wets, and that is a mistake. Benedict Hits on the dries, got a mega start. Coming out of turn 1, it's Jonas Vana, P2, Hugo Rob in P3, and it's Robert Higa in P4. All these drivers are on the dries. Rafael Renhofer on the dries as well. Andrea Frazinetti on the wets.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting start there. Like you said, Andrea Frazinetti on the wets really didn't seem to be the correct choice here. So all the dry run is just, flying past him now. So this is going to be a race about survival for Frazinetti.
Yeah, he's made the wrong mistake already, and our pole sitter is down to P6. Andrea Frazinetti in that green and black liveried car. Behind him he has Maninka Jordanovski. He's also on the dries. He's the next one to pounce. You can see the tire compounds on the left-hand side of the timing tower. Got that out of my mouth finally. Commentator has to put his teeth in for once. But Frazinetti on the wets, Augustin on the wets, Dürlinger, Stadtmann on the wets, Truma on the wets, and Pellegrino on the wets. So we have a good mix, Edwin. It did seem for the start though that the dries were definitely the tire to be on. Hugo Rob on his return, the Swedish driver, in the top 3 already. I have a feeling, Edwin, with your Swedish nationality, you're going to be rooting for him.
I mean, it always depends on where in Sweden he's from. No. We have rivalries. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, of course it's good to see a Swedish driver on here. But, I'm a commentator, so I have to be based.
Hugo Rob is one of the drivers that I drove together with back in the days of Platinum Racing Team. Now part of GazX. Benedict Hits leading the way at the front of the field. Gap at the moment 0.4 of a second. Two at the front, Benedict Hits and Jonas Vana. Both driving for the eSports. Helping each other at least stay at the front on the dry tires. But one thing's going to be for sure, Edwin, and that's that this is not going to be at least an easy race for most of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I don't know how this track is for these cars, but I mean, I know that in some others it's very easy to overheat the tires, and especially like the wet runners right now. If the dries are working this well, then I'm pretty sure that the wet tire will be easily overheated. So they just gotta manage those temperatures, manage the speed, and just keep everything in check. Otherwise, we're just gonna fall back.
Oh, that's an off moment. That is for Florian Becker. Our overall driver has just been passed by Michael Dürlinger in P11. That's our silver class leader. So he would pick up the points in the silver class. He's 11th overall now. At the front of the field though, Andrea Frazinetti, for a moment, and especially in the first sector, it seems like those wets are working better. Was able to put Renhofer under at least some pressure. But it seems like for the moment, Edwin, that we're on that exact crossover point on most parts of the track where neither the dry or the wets is really quicker. because after the start of the race, Frasinetti hasn't really been losing any time so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really able to see, but it might be that it is actually raining more and more, so the track will just get more and more wet. That could explain why the drivers have some of the drivers have opted for the wet tires. So they just gotta hope that the track gets wet enough in time so they can utilize these wet tires over the dry tires.
Looks like it's still cloudy, not raining. We have a white flag at the end of the straights already. Oh, that's a late move from Andrea Frasinetti. Or not Andrea Frasinetti, it's Robert Hege up front together with Rafael Renhofer. For the Adrenaline Motorsports LMP2 car, number 33. These drivers are both on the dries. If he wants to do something on his wets, he has to be quick about it. 2.5 seconds is the gap. Renhofer is of course the driver who's as last through to the feature race in that top 5, doesn't have to do the consolation race. So that's where Frasinetti is aiming at right now. That's what he's aiming at when he's in 6th. Rafael Renhofer is aiming at more, is trying to put Robert Hege under that pressure from Andrea Frasinetti. But it looks like Edwin just a little bit too far back to really try anything. Lap times of 1:28.
Oh,
that's
a mistake by Hugo Robb.
Hugo Robb with a spin. Hugo Robb does what Hugo Robb does best, and that is bottle it when he's in a good position. Hugo. Nothing has changed since the last season. It's good to see we still have the same Hugo with us. But that is painful, but that does mean that Andrea Frasinetti is now in P5. Benedict Hitz is going to win the first heat race here at Zandvoort. Ahead of Jonas Vana. A 1-2 for the esports. Robert Hege finishes in P3 ahead of Rafael Renhofer, who gets gifted a P4. Andrea Frasinetti P5, Henrik Augustin P6. All drivers coming through. Michael Dörlinger wins in the silver class. Lucas Baza second. And Florian Stadtmann in third. But what a race that was. We're already over to the next race, so let's go through the grid real quick. It's Marco Bortolotti starting on pole. Maximilian Paul, his DTM friend, right next to him. Then Martin Stadtmann, then Marius Zug, Markus Steffel, Yannick Wannenberg in the third row. Fourth row for Hugo Zasse and Philippe Ugret, our silver class pole sitter. Then it's Dennis Richter and Jens Fiedler on row number 5. Row number 6 for Ben Buhnagel and Leon Blum. Row number 7 for Christian Ablasa and Thomas Kiefer. And row number 8 for Jan Lintz and Sean Ted. Well, let's go to the start then.
Green flag, green flag.
Marco Bortolotti will start from pole. We have already started. Didn't have much time to go through most of the grid. Good start from our pole sitter. Once again, will we have the difference in tire compounds? No, everyone's starting on the dries this time except Jens Fiedler. I think everyone's seen that the dries are better in these conditions, but this is where Marco Bortolotti is so extremely strong. Maximilian Paul trying to fend off the LMP2 of Marius Zug from the BS Plus competition. Maximilian Paul still managing to do so. Gap has opened up to 1.3 seconds already at the front. And it's Martin Stadtmann behind that for Gazex. Behind him of the CC State Punks racing team, it's Markus Steffel trying to make a move at the inside. Can't quite make it. Hugo Zasse is still in the pits. Something's happened to him. Oh, moments for the Gazex. LMP2 of Martin Stadtmann. And that is ideal for Markus Steffel, who manages to pull alongside going into the chicane. And he manages to get through. Now he needs to get the exit, gets the turn in. Against Fiedler on those wets, not doing too badly. Dropping back from Dennis Richter in front of him, Philippe Ugret. Once again, the driver at the front of the field for the silver class. Mirko Bortolotti though at the front of the field. That gap was 1.3. It's now 1 second. Maximilian Paul gaining some time back on him. Last lap time 1:32.73. Oh, Markus Steffel! After he made up that place on Martin Stadtmann, he's now dropped all the way back into P8 after a spin going into turn 4. And that is everything but ideal. Oh, another spin from the Aston Martin. It's Dennis Uli Richter for the Speed Monkeys. Well, for him it's got to be aiming to get anything from this, because he's not going to go through. Mirko Bortolotti at the front of the field. 8:10 sees the gap now. Still driving in a pink livery. Seems like he still hasn't been able to fix his trading paints problems. He's driving for Gazex. Maximilian Paul opening up that gap to Marius Zug. Also driving for Gazex. It's a Gazex 1-2, just like it was a Der Esports 1-2 in the previous heat race. Seems like Der Esports and Gazex are going to share the front rows of the field. Maximilian Paul now around the outside goes Marius Zug. Tries to get the exit on him, but Maximilian Paul fending that off amazingly. Has now opened up the gap to Mirko Bortolotti to 2.1 seconds. But Maximilian Paul under full pressure from the BS Plus competition driver. Looking up the inside, Maximilian Paul not giving him any space to even have it think about it. Marius Zug flashing his headlights. Jens Fiedler seems to have gotten back past Jan Linz. He's now up into P9 on his wets. Not really a clear difference between the wets and the dries yet. Here's Mirko Bortolotti. This is Leon Blum and Marius Zug going at it. This is for P5. That's crucial to make the feature race without them to do the consolation race. Markus Steffel been passed by Marius Zug, who has dropped back now from Maximilian Paul. Oh, having an aggressive look up the inside. That allowed Markus Steffel to catch up to Leon Blum. This is crucial for the feature race positions. Is he going to have to do a consolation race after his spin earlier on? Markus Steffel, is he going to get through to the feature race still? Mirko Bortolotti taking the white flag. Seems like there was definitely a higher pace in this heat than there was in the other. Track conditions might be different though, so we can't look into that too much. Maximilian Paul, 2.7 seconds. Gap is staying almost the same to Mirko Bortolotti. Back to that battle between Leon Blum, Marius Zug and Markus Steffel. Leon Blum now under pressure from Steffel. Blum with a shorter line into the corner. Steffel with a better run out of it. Oh, onto the curb, bit of a snap. That ruins his run and that makes him vulnerable to Chanter behind that. Chanter is going to have a look at the Skyvlog, but he's not going to make it. Markus Steffel is right back onto the bumper of Leon Blum again. Marius Soek up front going for a move on Martin Stadtmann. He's on the outside for the left hand. He's going to put it all the way round. But he's not going to have enough. He's not going to get the exit he wanted either. Marius Soek now ahead of Leon Blum and Marco Steffel. Those two still going at it. Steffel sends it round the outside. They'll give him the inside for the left-hander, and he's done it. Marco Steffel has gotten past Leon Blum, and that now gives him P5, and he's through to the feature race. Contact between Chanter and Leon Blum. That was just a bit too ambitious from Chanter, I'm afraid. And he'll probably get a post-event penalty, post-round penalty for that incident. But Chanter finishes in P6, but surely penalty awaiting him. Jens Fiedler buys nothing for that though, gets P7. Jan Lins wins in the silver class, ahead of Thomas Kiefer, and Dennis Uli Richter, after his spin, managed to at least come back up to P11. So that was the results of Heat Race 1. No time to go through the results because we have the grid for the consolation race ready for us. Hendrik Augustin and Jens Fiedler on the first, Raven Ferrari, Jan Lins on the second, Niels Langeveld and Leon Blum on the third, Hugo Rob and Thomas Kiefer on the fourth. We once again skip P9 and P10. Mark Jordanowski, Dennis Richter, Michael Dörlinger and Christian Ablasa 11-12, Florian Becker and Philippe Grein 13-14, 15-16 for Chanter. Florian Stadtmann and Ben Buhnagel 17-18, Mario Truma 19th, Yannick Wonenberg 20th, Stefano Pellegrino 21st, Hugo Zasset 22nd, and Thomas Bieber in P23. Once again, we're going to see a switch of tires where the driver's on. Jens Fiedler is once again on the wets. P2 on the wets, so watch that start. Left-hand side of screen, the number 4, the overall driver, Jan Lins in the pole for the silvers.
Green flag, green flag.
It's lights out and it's a good start for Jens Fiedler on the wets, but that second phase of his start isn't quite what he needed. He's going to go challenge Hendrik Augustin for the lead though, up the inside on those wets. Doesn't manage to make his way through. Leon Blum on the outside with the traction on the dries. Makes his way past, and you can't help but wonder, is this the right decision for Jens Fiedler? Already losing a couple of positions. Hugo Rob trying to make up places already. The more places you make up here, the less places you have to make up in the feature race. But if you take too much risk and you lose all those positions, then you're in trouble for the feature race. Niels Langeveld under pressure from Dennis Uli Richter. Niels Langeveld in the Red Bull liveried car. And then Mariko Jordanowski ahead of him. Both of them are, even though not in the same livery, teammates. While I'm still waiting for my co-commentator to come back. Hendrik Augustin leads at the front of the field in that monster-themed livery. I think he has that livery on purely for the Halloween themed. And then a little bit further back, Christian Ablasa for Jaw Moment Racing. He is the person, so a big shout out to Christian Ablasa for the graphics shown earlier on in the stream on the top of the show. Thank you very much to Christian. Hendrik Augustin for Carla at the front. Then it's Hugo Rob still trying to make up positions. The Swede, after his kerfuffle in the first heat race, trying to make history his way through. I do believe my co-commentator is finally back. Took him a while, but Edwin, you're back. You've missed the whole of the second heat race. Now, not much has happened. Mirko Bortolotti obviously won again.
Yeah, no surprise there, but I'm sorry for taking a while, but I'm back now. I'm assuming this is the race before the final feature race, so.
Yeah, this is the consolation race, the race that decides positions 11 to 33.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm not sure where to start here, so you're just gonna have to carry it away, and I'll jump in.
Hugo Rob, our Swedish driver, 2.6 seconds back on Hendrik Augustin, our leader for Carlar. Then it's Leon Blum for your moment. Ivan Ferrari, another Italian, he finds himself in fourth for P&D Racing. Ricky Jordanovsky in fifth, making 15th for the feature race. It does look like the wets were the wrong decision for Jens Fiedler. Started in P2s, now all the way down to P7. Ben Buurnagel, Yannick Wonenberg, all in the pits. Lucas Baza, last one driving on the track. 30 seconds down on our leader. But Hendrik Augustin doing everything he needs to do so far. Christian Ablasa trying to go for the lead in the silver class. You don't gain much of it. For the silver drivers, this race is really a case of just drive and get as much positions as you can for the overall championship. Points not awarded for the silver drivers in this race.
Yeah,
Uli Richter in the AMR liveried car. He finds himself in the lead of that class though, in P10 overall. That would give him P20 on the grid.
Yeah, like you said, this particular heat or whatever you call it, yeah, consolation race, this is just all about setting it up for the feature race, like where you're gonna start in that race. So of course you want to finish as highly as possible to make sure that you know you have the best chance available to you, so maybe climb up a few spots. And if you're starting all the way down in P33, then it's not going to be easy.
No, but the question also is, Esvin, how much risk do you take in a race like this? Because if you take too much risk and you bin it, well, you're going to be in the wall and you're going to have an even bigger task to do in the feature race.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the sprint races in real life Formula 1, for example. Like, yeah. Like it's kind of like the sprint races. You don't want to take risks, but not too big risks. But here, Hendrik Augustin crosses the line in first.
Indeed, he wins. Sets him up in P11 for the feature race. Leon Blum, oh my lord, that's Hugo Rob. There he goes to the moon and back.
I have a new nickname for him, the Flying Swede.
The Flying Swede.
Not the Flying Finn, but the Flying Swede.
It actually all started back in the day, obviously, with a Zeppelin that was called the Flying Scotsman.
Yes. Oh, I've just seen there in the results list, it was very close between Becca and Fiedler. 0.004 of a second.
Now that we do have some time, Edwin, we can go and have a look at our results. Here is our results for Heat 1, and Benedict Hitz obviously won that. That means he's going to get the pole ahead of Jonas Vana for both Der Esports and Robert Higa. Finishing third on the podium there. Rafael Renova in fourth and Andrea Frasinetti in fifth. Then we went to Heat 2. It was Mirko Bortolotti, the Italian, winning ahead of Maximilian Paul, the two GazX drivers in P1 and 2. Martin Stadtmann making it an all GazX podium. Then PS Plus competitions, Marius Zug in P4, Markus Steffel for Sissy State Spunks Racing in P5. Then we got the consolation race, deciding positions 11 to P33. Hendrik Augustin just won that ahead of Leon Blum and Hugo Rob, the Flying Swede, in P3. Even Ferrari 4th. Marek Jordanowski P5. Niels Langeveld 6th. Florian Becker 7th. And Svetla 9th. Hugo Zasse in P9. And Dennis Richter, the first of our silver drivers. If I quickly look back here, Edwin, it doesn't seem to be any silver drivers in the top 5. No, indeed not. So that means that for the silvers, Dennis Richter has taken the pole, even though he had a spin in his first heat.
Yeah, that's really well done. So hats off to him and good job, and hopefully he can maybe climb up a few places to get some gold cars between him and the next silver driver. Excuse me.
Now, while Edwin is killing himself in the background, the weather, Edwin, hasn't been ideal for the drivers, let's put it like that. How tricky is it to drive in these conditions where it isn't really dry, but it isn't also really wet?
I mean, it's always tricky to know which tire you're supposed to go on. Like, you go out on the wets and you feel like, no, this is definitely slicks. I have way too much grip. And then you go out on the slicks and you realize, oh, this is wet. But you should have had the tire in between, like, let's say the real life intermediates. But we don't have that in these cars. So it's all about making the right choice and sticking with it and maximizing the performance you can have with that specific tire.
Yeah, indeed it is, and it's difficult to do, but Benedict Hitz and Mirko Bortolotti managed to do that the best in the heat races. It's a Dirt Esports and Gazex first and second row, because also on the second row we find Jonas Warner for Dirt Esports and Maximilian Paul for Gazex. Robert Heger in 5th for Adrenaline Motorsports, then another Gazex driver in Martin Stadtmann. Another Austrian in P7, Raphael Renhofer, ahead of Marius Zug in P8. Then we skip a couple of positions, once again, lovely. P9 for Andrea Frasinetti and Markus Steffel rounding off the top 10. Henrik Augustin 11, Leon Blom 12, Hugo Rob in 13. Let's see what he can do. Has to try and challenge for better. We don't have time for more, because we're awaiting the 5 red lights already. Benedict Hitz at the front of the field. Mirko Bortolotti on his inside. A bad start for Mirko Bortolotti. An amazing start for Maximilian Paul, who overtakes not one but 2 drivers. Both Maximilian Paul, both Jonas Warner, Robert Heger and Mirko Bortolotti. He has already been re-overtaken by the Dirt Esports driver around the outside in the banking. There's grip there, there's contact. Well, I'm not sure who to blame that on, really. We'll look at it later. But the field is a kerfuffle. We're all so close, still side by side for Maximilian Paul. Maybe, to be frank, he should have pulled out of that. Wasn't alongside completely. Oh, contact in the background on what is a little bit of a straight. Mirko Bortolotti now has found his way back up to P5. But that's the first time, really, Edwin, I have seen Mirko Bortolotti have, well, not the start that he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He has a moment as well, but yeah, like you said, I don't know what happened. It seemed like he just bogged down, or if he just got a bunch of wheel spin. He did start on the slicks. The 2 in front right now are on the wet tires, and that seemed to really work for them, as we have a car going off there in, I can't remember what corner that is, but contact in the back as well. Ooh.
Where's Hugo Rob in all of this? Look at that, making his way around all of them is Hugo Rob. My goodness me. Hugo Rob from P13 in the first lap, up 5. He's up to P8 already. He is indeed the flying Swede here. He's coming up to his teammate Mirko Bortolotti, who I don't think he expected to see the position he's in at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with Mirko Bortolotti right now, but he's just falling back. Does not have the same pace as the other guys on the slicks. Like, look here, dude. Like, no. Oh, wait. Yeah, this list is confusing me a little. But yeah, no, it seems like it was Sasse who was trying to go around the outside of Mirko Bortolotti there, but didn't manage to do so.
Oh, here we go. Robert Heger up the inside of Markus Steffel. To the inside he goes. Marcus Steffel still carrying it round. Zasse on the wets, and he's gotten past Mirko Bortolotti. So he's now trying to catch up to these two. Here is Hugo Zasse, he's done it already. He's on the back of Robert Hega. Meanwhile, Benedikt Hitz and Marius Zug at the front of the field on the wets, leading the way. And maybe this is what you need on the wets. Marius Zug, you can't forget, up 6 positions as well.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the wet tires was the way to go here, but we'll see. It's still 15 minutes to go. The track could still dry up and the slicks come into their own.
I think it's also a case of trying to get the temperature into those slick tires. Slick tires much more reluctant or much more sensitive to tire temperature compared to the wets. The wets kind of work in all temperatures. Some people are dropping down, some people are into the pits. Niels Langeveld is the leading driver coming out of the pits. Has he made a tire change? No, he stayed on the tire he was on previously, and that's the dries. A pit stop time of about 10 seconds for Niels Langeveld. Or no, he didn't actually stop in his pit stall. He had a drive-through, I think.
That's Langeveld.
That would explain that. Benedikt Hitz on the wets. That's impressive, Edwin. He's just opening up that gap to Marius Zug consistently. Marius Zug is being caught by Raphael Renhofer.
Yeah,
for the first time, really, in quite a long time, Edwin, I feel like Mirko Bortolotti is not the strongest in the field.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm not sure what's going on with Mirko. Oh, as he has a little bit of a moment in the banking coming onto the start-finish straight there. Now he's under pressure. We have Ferrari going to the outside there. Will he pull off the move? Holding around the outside there. Gets the better traction as well, I think. Yeah, like, just seems like Mirko Bortolotti has no confidence in these conditions.
Oh, he's looking for grip. He's trying to find grip. Ivan Ferrari also on the dries, so same tires for Ivan. It's purely confidence that Mirko Bortolotti seems to be struggling with. Now, don't forget, Mirko Bortolotti has just had a race in the WEC at Bahrain. He got back from that today, hadn't slept a lot. I talked to Mirko Bortolotti earlier and he's super tired, so maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, for the first time in quite a while, Mirko Bortolotti not the fastest in the field. Benedikt Hitz at the front of the field. Gap has come down to 1.7. Renhofer is, I think, in the best position so far, Edwin, to win this race. If you're Raphael Renhofer in the position that he's in at the moment, are you undercutting to try and make that pass without having to actually pass him on the track?
To be honest, I do not think that is the move, especially not in these conditions, considering it's taken him this long to get the tires up to temp and find the grip and everything. So I don't think the undercut is the way to go here for the slick runners. But maybe the wet tire guys could maybe try something. But then again, it's the same there. They're gonna have to heat up the tires. Like, the best thing for the wet drivers to do would be to overcut, I think. But yeah, we'll see how this pans out.
Yeah, that's the insight you get from a driver, something that most of us sometimes wouldn't even think about. Yeah, Frasinetti. Has he been lapped already? No, he hasn't, but he has been into the pit lane already. That's why he's blue. Jonas Varna. And he's now into the pits as well.
Oh, Raphael Renhofer going to the inside there. And he's got in second place.
He pulls it off. Scherer Esports up to P2 in the W12 Sprint Series. Benedikt Hitz in P1. Still a 1.5 second gap, but now he's going to be honed in by Raphael Renhofer on the slicks. And it seems like, Edwin, that gamble to take the wets at the start isn't paying off anymore. He's going in. Is Renhofer following him in? Yes, he is. Into the pit lane, the part that dries the slowest. But it seems like Renhofer just much more confident going into pit lane.
Oh yes, for sure. Like he closed the gap up to hits quite a lot there. I think there's pretty much going to be nothing in between these guys, depending on how much fuel they take. I think. So it's going to be interesting to see here on the pit exit.
Everyone's in. No one continuing so far. Niels Langeveld is the first driver who's been into pit lane already. But he hasn't stopped either. He just had a drive to Renhofer overtakes in the pits. Benedict hits back to P2. Rafael Renhofer is your new leader of the race. The Austrian overtakes the German driver Marius Zug. For PS Plus competition in P3, Maximilian Paulfort, Robert Heger P5, Ivan Ferrari 6th, Hugo Sasse 7th. Around the outside comes Andrea Frasinetti. Mirko Bortolotti also up to racing speed now. But he's back down into P9. This is going to be a massive, massive swing in the championship towards Rafael Renhofer if he can keep this position.
Yeah, like you said there, Mirko Bortolotti is going to lose quite a bit of points as he gets past Hugo Sasse again. But, like, I just have to say, like, I wonder why Hits and Mario Suga has gone for the wet tire again. Because the track is just going to dry out more and more.
Well, I don't think they changed tires, actually. Pit stop time is a bit too short for that, I think. Pit stop time of only 12 seconds for Benedict Hitz, 11 for Marius Zug, and crucially, what got him that lead, a 10.6 second stop from Rafael Renhofer, 1.4 seconds quicker than Benedict Hitz in second. And in the end, that's what got him the lead. And for Renhofer, it's just a case of bringing it to the end now on these slicks. Don't forget, it is still damp out there on track. A mistake on the slicks is easily made.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always easy. You can always randomly find a little patch of water that you haven't seen before, and it just catches you out completely. So yeah, but yeah, like you said, Rafael Renhofer just has to bring the car home now as we have an overtake into turn 1.
Down to P12 after his mega start. Has to do it all over again at a moment. As it is typical Hugo fashion. That's a move and a half from Hugo Rupp. My goodness me. The two of them get absolutely done by Hugo Rupp. That's a move and a half. Gets the exit out of the banking. And Hugo Rupp gets 2 positions in 1. Michael Dörlinger and Hugo Sasse, eat your heart out. Hugo Rupp has just shown you what racing is.
And I do honestly think that deserves a my, oh my, that was a switchback of dreams.
Yes, indeed. Mirko Bortolotti is the next one on Hugo Rupp's list. The Swedes flying on this track, has the confidence. Mirko Bortolotti's dropping back from Frasinetti as well. Now there are drop weeks involved in Kazakh or in the W12 Sprint Series, don't forget that. But Hugo Rupp doing everything he needs to do to get at least up into the top 10, get some valuable points. Stadtmann still fighting for overall position with Dennis Richter, sorry. Martin Stadtmann in P13 overall, Richter P12. Hugo Sasse in a fight with Michael Dörlinger. Michael Dörlinger obviously fighting for the overall championship now, but he's also leading the silver class. Do you take that into account with Dennis Richter so close behind Hugo Sasse?
I mean, for me, it would be too early in the championship to start thinking about that now. But yeah, no, Dörlinger is doing really well here. He's got Hugo Sasse on the wets behind, so I do think, as Richter gets overtaken by Stadtmann there. But yeah, no, Hugo Sasse is just gonna have to hold on now, because I feel like the crossover is definitely over and the wets are not the faster tire anymore, and the slicks is. So He's just gonna have to try and keep as many people behind as he possibly can, but I do think he's gonna be quite an easy prey here. Yep.
This is for the podium with about 6 minutes to go in this race. Just a little under. It's Maximilian Paul on the back of Marius Zug on the slicks, Marius Zug on the wets. And it seems to be the wrong decision. It worked out in the beginning, got the jump on all the others, but Maximilian Paul is going to fight his way back through on the slicks. It's not been made easy by Benedict Hitz. He's wasting too much time here, Edwin. You also have to think about the gap to Benedict Hitz up front, who's in P2, and this is just taking too long for Maximilian Paul to get past. It might be third and no further if it takes him any longer.
I do honestly think he's gonna get him down here though, because the slicks just have so much better grip, and I can just see him apparently not braking as late as I thought he would, because yeah, he's on the slicks. He should have a lot better braking capacity and a lot more grip on those tires at this point of time. So, but yeah, I think Mario Zug is gonna get overtaken by 2 cars here into turn 1. Mario Zug very eager to follow Maximilian Paul through. Maybe even stand it up. No, he doesn't. He sticks in between them.
Yeah, Robert Heger maybe thinking about more than just the position that is ahead of him. Benedict Hitz is now 2.3 seconds up the road, and with 4 minutes remaining in this race and the pace that they have, that does seem very doable. Slicks are becoming faster and faster at the front of the field. Rafael Renhofer last time round was almost 3 seconds faster a lap than Benedict Hitz. The slicks are overheating. Or the slicks are coming up to temperature, wets are overheating. And Hugo Zasse also on the wets, dropping further and further back. He's in a battle with Chanter. Here's that battle. Chanter in the red and black car. On the right hand side, the Richard Mille sponsored car. And Zasse has not only been overtaken by Chanter, but also by Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld still on the outside. He's going to get the better traction on the slicks. And that is moved on back to the front of the field. 3 minutes remaining in this feature race. 2 more laps to go. Can Maximilian Paul overtake Benedict Hitz? I don't think that's going to be a question for too long. We're going to have our answer. Pulls to the inside, brakes later, brakes deep, gets past Benedict Hitz. Just more grip on those slick tires. Now Benedict Hitz has to watch out that in these 2 laps he doesn't drop off the podium as well.
Mario Zug also getting eaten up by the guys behind now. Guy behind him right currently is Mirko Bortolotti, so
here's that fight. He's going to make around. He's going to call the outside for Scheivlak. Usually you never make a pass at this section of the track, and there's exactly why. A crash between Andrea Frasinetti. Here's exactly what happened. Frasinetti's going to spin in his own, isn't he? No, he's just going to catch him.
very unfortunate.
Was it Dennis Richter who went off the track? No, it wasn't, but he had a moment as well.
It was Robert Heger who actually went off the track there, so very big shame since he was up to P3.
Yeah, back to live pictures. Mirko Bortolotti, because of all of this, might actually not lose that much in the championship this time round. Because of all of that, he's back up into P4, and with 1 more lap to go, maybe 2 depending on how much time we have. Is there a white flag out? There's no white flag out. 2 more laps to go then. Mirko Bortolotti for sure we have to think is going to get Benedict Hitz now.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question about it. Like, the slicks is just so much faster at this point than the wet tire, and with 2 laps he has plenty of time to make the move. As you can see here just on the exit, gains about 4 tenths on the exit of turn 3, so yeah, this isn't even a question. He's gonna get this move. It's just about when.
And that is visually visible as well. There's not as much spray anymore on most parts of the track. And when there is spray, there isn't much. Mirko Bortolotti to the inside, makes his way up onto the podium. And we all thought that Mirko Bortolotti was going to drop points to Rafael Renhoff. He still is. Here's Rafael Renhoff, our leader in this race since about minute 7 into this race, minute 8. And he still is losing points to him, but not nearly as much as I think most of us thought it was going to be. Those slicks really came into their own. Benedict Hitz now also under pressure from Hugo Rob. Hugo Rob, you can see the podium right in front of him. Takes the inside on Benedict Hitz and gets through. Mirko Bortolotti next on his list, 1.7 seconds ahead. Ivan Ferrari is next on the list for Benedict Hitz. Those wet tires that Vin are absolutely screaming right now.
Yeah, I can see them both being very worn down because of them just overheating all the time.
Oh, look at the speed difference between Ivan Ferrari and Benedict Hitz. That's the speed difference between slicks and wets there.
Yeah, it seemed like Hitz just, like you said, he didn't have the speed and just caught Ferrari out of the blue there, you know. So he just had to avoid him there, but thankfully we didn't make contact.
No, I had to take avoiding action though, not to run into the back of him. Sean Taylor, who we know after last race loves the do or die action.
Something's happened to Hugo Rob.
What's happened to Hugo Rob? Oh, Hugo. We're gonna look at that later.
As Rafael Renhoff has won the race.
Yes, he has. We have missed that. Maximilian Paul, 60 seconds behind. I didn't think he was there already, but he has won the race ahead of Maximilian Paul, who picks up a P2. Rafael Renhoff is a W12 Sprint Series winner. Welcome to the club, an exclusive club of W12 Sprint Series winners. Ivan Ferrari finishes the race in P4. Both Italians finishing behind each other once again. It's close between Blum and Wannenberg. Oh, drag race the line, and Blum gets him. 51 thousandths of a second at the line. Blum gets him with a personal best lap time on the last lap. What a slingshot that was, Edwin.
Yeah, could that also have been a factor of fuel for Wannenberg?
You think so?
I don't know it, but it was a very big overspeed that he came with. But yeah, it could have just been the slipstream.
The slipstream, the slicks against the wets. It's wow. That is something really special by Blum, which he's just done. Well, that's it for the first server. Let's have a look at the results. Here are the overall results of that race. Rafael Renhoff becomes a W12 Sprint Series winner ahead of Maximilian Paul in second. Then Mirko Bortolotti in third, Ivan Ferrari fourth, Benedict Hitz fifth, Robert Heger sixth, Marius Zoek seventh, Martin Stadtmann in eighth, Michael Dullinger ninth, and Sean Tay in P10. Then P11 for Dennis Richter, Niels Langeveld 12th, Hugo Sasser 13th, Christian Ableser 14th, Leon Blum 15th, Yannick Wonenberg 16th, Ben Buhnagel 17th, Mario Truman 18th, 19th for Hugo Rob, and 20th for Florian Becker. Oh my lord, 19th for Hugo Rob. We'll have a look what happened to him later. Stefano Pellegrino P21, Hendrik Augustin P22, Jan Lins in P23, Philippe Grijn P24, Jens Fiedler 25th, Markus Steffel 26th, Martin Jordanovski 27th, Lucas Baza 28th, Andrea Frasinetti 29th, and 30th for Jonas Vana. 31st for Thomas Kiefer, 32nd for Florian Stadtmann, And 33rd for Thomas Pieper. That's how we finished, Edvin. We do have to take a look at this, though. Your Swedish friend, this is exactly what happened to him. Coming out of the corner, he's just going to get a snap, isn't he? Not yet. On board with Hugo Rob.
Could it be just a snap during braking? Yes, it is. The rear end of the car just can't follow the front.
And then
And the
there's
car
no
goes
holding
around.
it back.
That's a shame for Hugo Rob.
And then he has to wait, has to get out of the racing line. Wait. And he can't get away either. Let's look at that in full speed again. Talk us through this moment though, Edvin. What does the driver go through?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like he's going to the inside where probably has had the grip earlier in the race, but you see the rear, he turns the steering wheel and the rear just cannot follow the front tires. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. You're not going to be able to predict that either, and yeah, he just couldn't save it in time. So that's really unfortunate for him.
Oh, and then he almost crashes again. That's a bit reckless.
Yeah. Most Swedes are. No. Yeah, no, but just unfortunate spin for him. He was in P4 looking strong there, so.
Is he gonna send it into the wall again? Betcha he is.
Yes, he
Betcha
is.
he is. Ah, and it ends there. Let's have a look back earlier on in the race. Because there was that incident with, I think at the start of the race, Maximilian Paul, who had an incident. Who was it with again?
I cannot remember, but it was coming out of turn 3 on lap 1.
We're gonna go to the green flag, and then we're gonna go on board with Maximilian Paul. Look at the start he gets! My God, what a start!
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal launch there from Maximilian Paul.
Let's look at that again. On board. Ah, the perfect clutch release by him. Doesn't let the revs fall dead. And up into P2 he goes, where he would finish in the end as well. But it wasn't without some complicated, or without some complications. Oh, it's 19. Here we go. You tell me whose fault this is.
I mean, I'm gonna need another replay of that from a different angle, maybe, if it's possible.
You want to be on board?
No, I think this is fine. Yeah, no, like, it's hard to say. Maximilian Paul, he just gets the better traction coming out of the corner, but I mean, there's not really a car width there, from what I saw. Like you see here, the car width's not really, there it is, and then he just pops in his nose there, and I guess the car in front just didn't expect it, so. I would honestly make that out to be a racing incident. It's lap 1 as well, so.
I mean, what he could argue, if we look a little bit further back, sorry for the rewinding look, the car comes up on him there.
Yeah, for sure, but, you know, I would just call that down to being a racing incident. I don't think either driver was at fault, or was more to blame than the other, to be honest, so. But that's going to be up to the stewards. I'm not a steward in this league, so I'll leave that job for them.
And then we have another incident with Marika Jordanovsky. Car on the outside, into the banking as well. Oh! That's a case of just, oh, hello.
Quite a bit of chaos back here. We missed this for sure.
Rafael, yellow flag, brakeman.
Yes, that was a
Oh, look at that car.
That's that's even worse than the rallycross car last week.
Yeah.
control scoring has
And
ended.
around he goes. Andrea Frasinetti was also caught up in that. Let's go on board. Let's see. What could he see? Here was that contact.
Oh.
And there around he goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see a different angle. Look from here, like he just spun it in, on his own.
Oh, there's another car spinning. Is this the later crash? Yeah, this is Mariko Jordanovsky.
That initiates everything.
I mean, at this point, this is already multiple million euros of damage. But you come in being Lucas Baza. Let me find Lucas Baza. Here he is. Here's Lucas Baza. You see that this is happening in front of you. Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Lucas Baza.
Yeah, nothing he could do there.
Yannick Wannenberg as well. He's on the outside of Lucas Baza. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yannick Wannenberg gets away from it, kind of. Okay, then drives into the back of the car twice. 3 times. Bit eager to get going. That was that massive start crash. And then for the rest of the race, we didn't really have much incidents anymore.
Yeah, I would love to see what happens to...
What's going to happen here? Chanter also into the banking. No, he's just going to spin on his own.
I would love to see what happens to Robert Tiger before Andrea Frastanetti collected him.
Oh my god! Did you see what I saw? Well, go forwards real quick. Look at this! There's a car upside down!
Oh.
Alright, is he...
What's happened there, mate?
A vote now. Is he going to be put right side up after that car's hit him? Because clearly that red and black Gazak's car is going to hit him.
I would say the car will fly into space. I was wrong.
You stand to be... It was Jan Lins, wasn't it? Yeah, Jan Lins initiated that.
I wonder what happens here.
Oh!
Oh, he just spins it on his own.
Into the tire barrier on the banking. And around he goes. Oh, at full speed as well. Was that Thomas Kiefer? No, it wasn't. Thomas Kiefer was the one who went round. And then who's this coming in? Just trying to find who this was coming in. A lot of people already in the pit lane at this point. Was it Philippe Ugran? No, it wasn't. Jan Lins. There's Jan Lins. Stefano Pellegrino. It was Stefano Pellegrino. Let's go on board with him. At this point, you don't see this car. You still... Oh, there's the car. And, yeah, completely blinded until he almost is in the car.
Yeah, there's no time to react to that.
I think we could be lucky that that's not a real-life incident.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But I would want to see what happens to Robert Tiger.
Robert Higa, let me find an incident for Robert Higa. Oh, this is also crucial. Markus Stiffel also had an incident. We'll go through them in order. Another incident from Markus Stiffel. On his own, does what Chanter also did. Oh my god!
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bit sad to be collected in. And that was Philippe Ugran who was involved in that. Leon Blum, who was up there in the heat races, had an incident. Is he going to do exactly the same? No, he's going to do it in the banking. He's going to spin, isn't he? Rear comes round. Watch it. Yeah, there we go. And now it's just staying out of the way, not doing anything crazy. I can't find anything specifically that happened to...
Andrea Frasinetti when he ran into the back of him in the corner we're coming up to now.
Andrea Frasinetti. Oh my lord, Robert Hega. Yeah, where's Robert Hega? Is this that moment? Yes, it is. Let us find Robert Hega. There's Robert Hega. We're gonna rewind a bit. He's gonna do this all on his own. No, he's gonna contact. Oh, he's gonna contact Benedict Hitz on the wets. Oh my lord, that's a massive crash.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but yeah, just a little light tap on the rear of.
The fact that Marius Souk is still driving with all 4 corners on that car is a miracle. And then, obviously, we had the checkered flag. Rafael Renhofer crowning himself as a W12 Sprint Series race winner at Zandvoort. That is server 1 for you guys. We'll throw it to a short waiting screen for server number 2. And after that, as soon as server number 2 is up, we'll be right back with you with track action. welcome back to the W12 Sprint Series. You've seen the on-track action, you've seen where we are, you've seen the cars we are driving with, and oh boy, it's back to the good old days of the GTEs. With the RSRs, the M8s, the 488s, GTEs, the Corvettes. Which cars do we have? And of course, the Fords. How can we forget the Fords? A good bunch of cars that we have. Only one Ford in the field, driven by Martin Stadtmann, my personal favorite race car. If you're talking about a GT car, it's this car. When it won back in the day at Le Mans, still remember the day, what I was doing, where I was. The first victory for the GTEs, the 4 GTEs at Le Mans. Edvin, this is a good track car combination. I think before we go to Edvin, we can maybe drag Thomas Kiefer into the commentary booth. Thomas, you've been eagerly waiting for us. Thank you for that. How was server 1 for you? If Thomas is here. He should be. Thomas?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, there you are, Thomas Kiefer. Yeah, welcome into the commentary booth.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for waiting for us. How was server 1 for you?
Actually, not so good. A lot of new stuff. Actually, yeah, my first proper iRacing race, so not so experienced, to be honest, and just trying to get up to speed.
All right, we'll let you go really quickly because qualifying is going to get underway. Best of luck, and we'll keep an eye on you.
Copy that. Thank you.
That was Thomas Kiefer. Good to hear from him, Edvin. We're getting into qualifying now on a track that is pretty prone to off-tracks, especially the corner we're looking at right now, this chicane. Oh lord, so prone to off-tracks, and the last chicane on this track as well. What are we expecting?
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, this is quite a good car and track combo. This track was made for endurance racing, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the drivers tackle this combo. But like you said, the good old days with the RSR, M8s, Ford, the 488. Kind of missed that car in GT3 as well, but you know, yeah, the thing you need to remember about these cars that differentiates them from the GT3s as well is, like, yeah, they do have traction control, but they don't have ABS, so you have to be really careful on the braking. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure. But also, like you said, this track is quite prone to off tracks. iRacing did thankfully update this track recently, where they got a bit better.
Oh, Edvin, I'm sorry to interrupt, but listen to that sound. Oh boy, is it nostalgic. Let's listen on board with, listen to that, the Ford Rumble.
Yeah, it sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, these GTE cars sound amazing, but by far the best sounding of all of them is this one. I hope you guys at home can hear me, because the RSR is bloody loud, but boy does it sound amazing. We're going to stay on board with Shantae here for qualifying, but sorry to interrupt you, Edvin, continue your story.
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately iRacing recently updated this track, so the off-tracks and slowdowns aren't as bad as they were, but specifically the second chicane, where it seemed very inconsistent, but yeah, thankfully that's all fixed now. So I don't think we're gonna see too many off-tracks. Of course, there's probably gonna be a few, because it's still quite easy to get them, but not as bad as it would have been if it was the old one, I think.
Well, we have some drivers still on warm-up laps. We have at the moment Shantae, who we're looking with on board on a hot lap. And into the chicane. Is he going to stay out of the off-tracks? Yes, he is. Crucial to not grab an off-track on these laps. Obviously, with the one-shot qualifying, you really can't, because as soon as you do, Well, you're going to start from the back of the field. Jonas Vana's going purple in both the second and third of 5 sectors here. We're staying on board with Sean Tay. And I see Sean Tay jump up into our qualifying bar at the bottom soon. Benedict Hitson, the Corvette, the first one to set a lap time, 1:24.0 is what we're going to have to be on board with Sean Tay. Is he going to be able to beat it? That's the question. No is the answer. Mirko Bortolotti isn't even able to beat that. Looking with Yannick Wannenberg now on his fast lap. Turn 2, shifting down into second. Long right-handed, this keeps going on this corner. Back down to third for turn 3. Watch out for the gravel on the outside. Slows you down a lot. There is an off-track there into the chicane now. Braking round about 80 meters before the corner, shifting down back into second. Staying off both curves, minimizing the risk that we are taking underneath the bridge. Left-handed down into the hill. This second chicane, don't cut the second part too much. You want to open it up. That's not great for Yannick Wannenberg. That's going to hamper him all the way to this right-hander. Has to wait to get onto the throttle. This is flat out in these cars. Not too bad of a lap so far, but I don't think this is going to be a pole position lap for Yannick Wannenberg. Going wide into the right-hander as well. Now flat out into the last 2 corners on the track. The final chicane underneath the Bio Racers bridge. Braking just before that. Missing the first apex, hitting the second one, going wide on the exit, using all the track available to us, straight lining into the finish. Let's see where Yannick Wannenberg is going to put himself. He's currently 1000th on the grid. I don't think that's quite correct, but Yannick Wannenberg, did he have an off-track? It looks like he did. Yannick Wannenberg with an off-track. And he doesn't set a lap time. And he's not the only one, Edwin.
Yeah, crucially, Raphael Renhofer is one of the drivers.
Here we go. The grid is yours, Edwin.
So, P1, we have Jonas Vana in the Corvette. Then we have Mirko Bortolotti second, Henrik Augustin in third, Marcus Steffel in fourth. Fifth and sixth is Andrea Frasinetti and Ivan Ferrari. Seventh, Benedict Hitz. Eighth, Robert Higa. Then we have Hugo Rob in P9, then Maximilian Paul in P10. Then we also have Leon Bloom 11th, Marenko Jordanovsky in 12th, Mario Sug in P13, 14th Dennis Richter, Jens Fiedler in 15th, Philippe Augrand in 16th. 17 is Chanter, 18 Mario Trumme, Jan Lins in 19, 20 Christian Ablasser, 21 Michael Doelinger, Lucas Basse in 22, Raphael Renhofer 23, 24 is Niels Langeveld, Martin Stadtmann in P25, P26 is Yannick Wannenberg, Hugo Sasse 27, Stefano Pellegrino in 28. Then we have Florian Becker in 29, Florian Stadtmann in P30, 31 is Thomas Kiefer, and then Ben Bunagel in final place.
Yes, P32, a big grid on this track. Look where Ben Bunagel has to start. All the way back here. We can barely see him from this angle. We can't even see him from TV Cam 2. We have to look TV Cam 3 if we want to see the back of the grid. But here we go then. We're going to get these cars up to speed. A standing start in a GTE. This is going to be interesting. Jonas Vana, Mirko Bortolotti on the front row. It's green, green, green at Circuit Zolder. Mirko Bortolotti immediately fending off the inside from Andrea Frasinetti. He's trying to make his way through. Both BMWs having an awesome start once again. Frasinetti at the start of a race, Edwin, making up places.
Yeah, exactly. Like Andrea Frasinetti is just so good on the opening laps. I've noticed in the both this week and last week, so it's just incredible job by him. But we have some scraps going on, some people going up onto the gravel there. The lonely for GT in the middle of the pack as well, but it seems like everyone's gone away cleanly so far.
Into that chicane now then, all the drivers coming through, one of the BMWs jumping over it, the only Ford on the grid. I'm so saddened to see has had an incident. It's chaos further back. Oh, watch the rejoin. You are a pancake and a half. My goodness, mate. That is unbelievable. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. Mikael Döllinger. Well, if that isn't a penalty, then I don't know what is, Edwin. That rejoin is not what you want to see. My goodness.
But that was really not a rejoin you should do. But as we can see now, Mirko Bortolotti has gotten quite a gap now at the end of lap 1 and is into the lead. Are we going to see the repeat of last week? Once he gets up into the lead, he just stays there comfortably.
Yeah, he can work his strategy. And that's something that he's also good at. I'm just trying to find where Mirko Bortolotti made that pass. Here we go. Down the hill. Oh, it was a slowdown for our pole sitter. And he not only had to let Mirko Bortolotti pass, there's a car going up for the background there too.
Looked like Andrea Frasinetti to me.
Oh, we have some cars in pit lane already. Mirko Bortolotti, here he is. That BMW sounds absolutely awesome.
Yeah, these cars just sound absolutely awesome. Like I really miss these cars, but good to see them on track again. But we can see Vanna starting to get back into the gap a little bit of Mirko Bortolotti. Seems to be the stronger driver of the two here. He's caught up a lot this lap actually.
Also in previous seasons, Edvin, as we have a roof in front of our camera, that's nice. Also in previous seasons has been the driver to challenge Mirko Bortolotti for the championship. So if there's one man that could take the championship from him, it could be Jonas Vanna, but Rafael Renhofer, we've seen he was one of the drivers who he obviously won that race, the feature race in Zandvoort. He's struggling right now. Who decided to put solar panels in the middle of my track? Oh, horrible.
Environmentalists.
Well, usually they're there for a good cause, but yeah, not when there's a camera in between them. Limits the operational space of our camera a little bit. So that TV camera number 3, which is a little bit lower down, is going to help us with that. Mirko Bortolotti, the gap has closed down completely. Jonas Vanna now right behind Mirko Bortolotti.
And he has seemed stronger into the final chicane here, so can he get a run down the finish straight here? Yeah, look, he's just so much later on the brakes, so much more confidence. But he gets a bit of wheel spin there on the exit, not really going to help him out here.
No, we're staying on board with the Corvette. Into turn 1, just able to take a tighter line. Here he comes. Mirko Bortolotti, about 0.3 of a second ahead. There we go, there's our timing back.
See what they do for the chicane. Yeah, you can see he's just braking so much later than Mirko Bortolotti.
The confidence on the brakes is amazing, Edvin.
I wish I had that confidence. No, but yeah, he's really close now. I think he might try move down into the hairpin here. He is more yeah, goes to the outside. Can he pull a switch back here, get a better exit? He has gotten the better exit, trying to get the inside line coming into the final chicane here, but gets squeezed. Mirko Bortolotti closes that door.
This is look at the inside, but Mirko knows better than that. Mirko's going to have to defend here. Jonas Varna has the speed. We have a battle on our hands as well. Here he comes into turn 1, Jonas Varna. Not able to make that pass stick.
Yeah, Jonas Varna definitely looks like the driver who has the better speed at this point of time in the race. He's just looking everywhere. I think they are side by side now.
Into the right hand there, yeah. Mirko Bortolotti's going to have that. Jonas Varna's going to try and get the exit on him. He's going to try and put alongside for the chicane. Yeah, Mirko Bortolotti is going to professionally squeeze him out here, as I thought he would, yeah. That's what we expected.
Absolutely popping over the chicane there. He's going to try it. He's on the inside now coming into the second chicane, but he stays back.
If there is a track where you can defend, Edvin, it is Zolder. It's a track where you can just keep a car that's at least half a second faster than you a lap behind you. It seems like Mirko Bortolotti is doing that right now. Braking late enough, actually. I thought with how late that Jonas Varna was braking, was surely able to get past, but with braking late, it just seems like Mirko Bortolotti just can't get the exits.
Yeah, we're gonna see he's very close coming onto the finish right here. Goes a little bit wide though, but it's not gonna slow him down too much. Might have gotten a little bit of wheel spin because you see that gap increasing. But also, look behind. This is inviting Markus Steffel back into the fight for P1 as well. Only 1 second behind now.
Here is Markus Steffel having to drive defensive lines as Mirko Bortolotti. That's allowing Markus Steffel to come back into this fight.
Beautiful. Sounds great too. But yeah, the battle for P1 continues, but we do see Markus Steffel getting closer and closer. He is within that 1 second now.
7/10 of a second, a bit wide though. Markus Steffel is going to lose time, yeah. A bit deep into the chicane. You can see the time loss, but Mirko Bortolotti has his hands full on Jonas Varna. He's going defensive this time round. Jonas Varna once again can't get through. This track just seems a little bit too small for these cars, Evan, to really make a pass. Here comes Jonas Varna, the inside for the chicane. It's just not enough. Mirko Bortolotti jumps into the pit lane. BMW behind him has to follow him through. A lot of drivers into pit lane now. Maximilian Paul in the Ferrari also coming in. Philippe Ugran in BMW, here he is. Mario Truma in the RSR, the classic RSR livery. He's going to have to come in. Jonas Varna continuing a lap though in the Chevy. Let's see, Benedict Hitz is the next one in the Chevrolet, but he's miles back on Jonas Varna. Let's see, is Benedict Hitz able to continue another lap? It might just be the case that these cars are better on fuel. Yes, he is. But so is the Porsche and the BMW behind him. It's just the way those guys have been driving out of the pits. Mirko Bortolotti still emerging in second. Pit lane time 42 seconds. It's going to be close on pit exit with him and Jonas Varna. Gap at the moment 33.
And we see Markus Steffel has lost about 2 seconds in that pit stop, so probably taking more fuel. But we did see this last week, like Mirko Bortolotti is just so good at fuel saving and doesn't have to refuel as much as the other guys.
I don't think it's necessarily the pit stop here this time. If I look at the pit stop times though, Edvin, pit stop times only differ 4/10, but the pit lane time differs 2.5 seconds. So he mostly gains that time on pit entry and pit exit. And that's obviously also part from of your in and out lap. So Mirko Bortolotti, here we go. You can see where Mirko Bortolotti is. P2 on the track map. You can see the number 1 of Jonas Varna in the pit lane. He's stationary for 7 seconds now. It's going to be super close on pit exit. Is Jonas Vana moving? Yes, he is now. Mirko Bortolotti already up to speed with the quicker line through turn 1. Where is Jonas Vana? He has the shorter line into turn 2. He's going to get him. Mirko Bortolotti is going to emerge behind Jonas Vana. And Jonas Vana has done it.
Yeah, incredible end lap there from Jonas Vana. But,
and now I think it's done with the fight, Edvin. I think Jonas Vana's now just going to be able to pull away.
Yeah, I think so too. He looked to be the quicker driver out of the two all the way through that first stint. He was right on the back of Mirko Bortolotti. He just couldn't find his way through. But yeah, we'll see how this unfolds. But I do think that Jonas Vana is just going to run away with this now.
Bortolotti keeping up with him at least for now. Is it the case that Mirko Bortolotti is able to take more risk now? You can see what Jonas Vana gained on the braking there. Yeah, Mirko Bortolotti is going to have his work cut out for him this time round if he wants to win it. 12 minutes have passed in this race, 6 to go. We have some battles a little bit further back in the field.
Yeah, but you can just see Mirko Bortolotti is actually keeping up better than I thought. But he is starting to he's lost a 10th in the last lap, but it keeps going up and down. You see he's gaining back that 10th now, then it's going up again. So it seems like the drivers are very evenly matched at this point of time in the race.
Maybe that's also the reason then that Jonas Vana was struggling to get past Mirko Bortolotti. This is the battle for 15th. Dennis Richter has Jens Fiedler behind them, and then Philippe Legrand for the silver championship, but he's 5.6 seconds back. Dennis Richter in that BMW. A beautifully liveried BMW, I have to say. I like how colourful the livery is. On the back of the Porsche of Chanter now.
Also the
Here
gap.
is Niels Langeveld in the Red Bull liveried, Oracle Red Bull liveried Porsche. And he gets past on Florian Becker. Up to P12 he goes. Can now start chasing down Marius Zug.
You can also see the gap at the top hash. Now it's down back under 1 second again, but it was over up to 1.1 seconds. But Mirko Bortolotti is doing everything he can to stay within that slipstream.
Yeah, not a track where you benefit from it a lot since there is so many corners and it isn't really that big of a track. But yeah, one of the tracks where mechanical grip, and especially in these cars, pays off. Hugo Hope with a better exit out of the chicane on the back of Maximilian Paul. Both driving for the same team, but still rivals on track. Ferrari of Maximilian Paul and the Corvette of Hugo Hope. The Swede P6 would be a season best result for him after his 2 races at Zandvoort, where he had an unfortunate incident in both of them. What was your look on that though, Edvin? The incidents that he had in both the heat races and the feature race in Server 1?
I mean, the first one was just, you know, unlucky, but also the second one was just a driver mistake. But you know, sometimes that does happen. Everyone makes mistakes. No one's perfect, so it was just unfortunate that it happened so late on in the race when he had P4 secured pretty much. So, but yeah, he is looking quick. I'm definitely not denying that, and I think he's gonna have a look at a move on Maximilian Paul, maybe down into the chicane. Oh, as he goes a bit wide there, but yeah, he's probably gonna have a look at a move soon.
I will hope wants to get a better exit out of the chicane. No, he hasn't. Has a bit of a snap. Marco Bortolotti back within 0.6 of a second at the front of the field. Dennis Richter still close to the back of Chanté. Not really made sense. Maybe now then. Maybe now then. No, this is not really a corner where you go for a move, Edwin. Obviously so, he sticks behind, gets the better exit on Chanté though.
As Hugo Roba has gotten past.
Porsche.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but Hugo Roba has gotten past the Ferrari of Maximilian Paul now.
This is the battle between Trummer and Pellegrino. This is allowing Jan Lins in the background to catch up as well. And he has now. It was Pellegrino ahead. Trummer is going to put it at the insides of the right-hander. And he's managed to do so. Look at Jan Lins trying to capitalize on that too. Contact. This is for the silver class, very important, and also for the overall championship. Taking an extra position. Back to Richter in P15. He's just behind Chanté, like 4 or 5 tenths for quite a while now. He just doesn't seem to be able to get past Edwin.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, like you said. Oh, he's gotten past there though. Slow down for Chanté.
That pressure in the end at least mounted to something.
But yeah, like I said, Hugo Rob has now gotten past as well. So, but Maximilian Paul is keeping up. But yeah, no, like you said, Dennis Richter just forcing Chanté into a mistake there, getting a slowdown. This must be the white flag lap, and it is Jonas Vane still leading. Marco Bortolotti hasn't let him get away though. Showing better pace here in the second stint. But yeah, no, very, very well managed by Jonas Vane, making the overcut work and getting past through the pit stop phase. So, no, just good execution. Only real mistake from him was that slowdown on lap 1.
Well, we're getting close now to the dying stages of this race. Last couple of corners now for Jonas Vane in the Corvette, and then he's done everything he needed to do. Mirko Bortolotti has pushed him all the way. He hasn't allowed him to get past, but in the end, Mirko Bortolotti beaten at the game that he's so good at himself. And that was strategy. One final chicane to round off without a slowdown. And he's done so successfully. Jonas Vane comes through to win, become a winner in Season 7. He wins at Zolder in the first race of 2, and he's going to start P18. Marco Bortolotti in P2. Markus Steffel though, P3. Good result for Markus Steffel once again. He's becoming a very consistent driver. And once again, he's on the podium, Edwin.
Yeah, just lovely, lovely job by him.
Here is Dennis Richter, our winner in the silver class. He's been on a roll this evening. Stefano Pellegrino, our leader in that class. He's down on P24. And that is 6th in the silver class. So, yeah, big point swing in the championship for him there.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be interesting now to see the top guys coming through the field. Like you said earlier, it is quite easy to defend on this track because it is quite tight and not a lot of straights. So It's going to be interesting to see the top guys coming through the field. Hopefully there aren't too many incidents and it stays quite clean. But yeah, it's going to be very...
It's all yours, Edvin.
Yeah, so the Heat 1 results is Jonas Vane, P1, Mirko Bortolotti, P2, Markus Steffel, P3, Henrik Augustin, P4. Then it's Hugo Rob, Maximilian Paul, Ben Hitz, Andrea Frasinetti, Rafael Renhofer, who's made a great drive to recover up to P9 after not setting a lap time in the qualifying. Marinko Jordanovsky, P10, rounding it out in the top 10. And then it's Mario Sug, Florian Becker, Nils Langeveld, Dennis Richter, Jens Fiedler, Chanter, Robert Hieger, Philippe Augrand. Yeah, and we have Philippe Augrand rounding it up in P18, where the reverse grid is. The rest of the guys starts where they finished. So Dan, what was your favorite moment from the first heat?
I'm gonna have to say, I think Mirko Bortolotti being beaten in his own strategy game. Oh my goodness me, who was that? Was that Mirko Bortolotti? It wasn't, was it? Must have been Marinko Jordanovsky, but... I mean, yeah, Mirko Bortolotti being beaten at his own strategy game, that was quite exciting to see. I have to say, it's not often that you see someone beat him on strategy. But it looked like for quite a while, wasn't it, that, well, that he was quicker than Mirko Bortolotti. And in the end, it paid off by going a lap longer.
Yeah, for sure. It really did pay off there. He got the overcut to work, staying out that one lap extra, and he just executed it perfectly. So, beautiful stuff. But predictions for the Heat 2 now. Who do we think will stand on the podium?
I'm gonna go with an Andrea Frasinetti P1. Yeah, no. Let's see. I'll have to await the grid. I can't really tell you. Maybe Hugo Rob might be able to take his victory in these races. He has done so before. And I have a feeling he's starting in a position in which he can do that again. P2, Mirko Bortolotti, and then Jens Fiedler in P3. There you go.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say, I think this Rafael Renhofer is actually starting quite high up. And he has seemed quick this evening, took his first win and at Sandboard. So I'm actually going to say Rafael Renhofer, P1, Andrea Frasinetti, P2, and then Hugo Rob, P3.
Ooh, sounds like a good top three. Oh, Chanter will also start P3. Let's see if he can do something. Philippe Augrand will start first. Robert Hieger second. Chanter third. Jens Fiedler fourth. Dennis Richter fifth. Nils Langeveld sixth. Florian Becker seventh. And Marius Zug rounding off the top 8. Well, that's the grid. As much as we're going to get through at least. Because drivers are gridding already. And we're going to have to be quick here. Beautiful camera angle. Can see absolutely nothing with that grandstand in the way. Here we go then.
Cameraman must do a pretty chill job.
It is the
Green flag, green flag.
The feature race in Circuit 2 with green. Not the best start for Robert Hieger. Chanter capitalizes on that field plan. So the driver leads the way at the front of the field. Through the first split, there is our standings on the left-hand side. Nils Langeveld, he has a shot at doing great as well. He's not supposed to be that far down in the heat race either. We'll go home in P70. There goes my prediction, I think.
There goes my prediction as well of Pete.
Oh, crash in the background. Niels Lanneveld as well. I said he had the chance to do good, but he's off. That chicane at the start of the race always causes drama.
And I have to say, it looks like Mirko Bortolotti has been caught up in something because I can't see him in the timing list. Oh no, sorry, he's P10.
I was going to say, he's going to tell me how good of a start he had, but he's once again fighting with Jonas Varna. The gap up front, 2 seconds. Another crash in the background once again. It's Niels Lanneveld involved in it. But Robert Hega has overtaken for the lead Felipe Grando, silver driver on the podium. Richter in P4, silver drivers really showing up here in this second race.
Yeah, and I just saw in the background where Jonas Varna is opting to pit already. So he's on a quite alternate strategy, I would say, but this could work out for him. Get some clean air and just make the undercut work. But yeah, Robert Higa up into P1, Philippe Grand keeping second place, but we also have Raphael Brennhofer up to P5, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do from there.
Just flashing his lights, putting pressure on Philippe Grand. Is that pressure going to amount to anything? Once again, going a bit deep into the chicane, that's not going to help him. Chanter around the outside then, around the outside, that's the only place he has to go. He's going to get squeezed out on the exit and he chooses to drop back and not lose any further. Then it's Nico Raphael Renhofer. Oh, he's making an early pit stop, Raphael Renhofer. I was switching to him to tell you, everyone, how good of a chance he had to maybe try something, but he decides, and that is a beautiful livery, to not take any chances at the start of this race and make his pit stop immediately.
Yeah, I do think most of these drivers is opting to get a pit stop out of the way early to not have to deal with the traffic, just get clean air, do their own pace. But we're going to have to see where Raphael Renhofer comes out compared to Jonas Varna, who pitted on lap 1. So. But as we can see, it's really spicing up for P2 now. Mirko Bortolotti catching up to this pack as well.
Chanter under pressure from Richter as well. Dennis Richter. Mirko Bortolotti in 5th, who's made his way past the field quicker than Jonas Varna has done. He's catching up to this now. Is it maybe a smart idea for Mirko Bortolotti after catching up to these to make his pit stop to overtake?
I do think that would be the move, because now he's just being held up by V3 and Raphael Renhofer, and more importantly, his rival for tonight, Jonas Varna, is in clean air, not clean air, but he's in a quicker pack.
Oh, contact going into pit lane. Chanter. Surely some damage on that car. Mirko Bortolotti, because of it, decides to stay out. Now is his teammate Philippe Ugran in front of him. Robert Hega, with that 5-second gap, could become dangerous as well for the overall victory.
Absolutely, but also Marcus Steffel keeping up very well behind Mirko Bortolotti through all this traffic. So, and he did look to have a little bit of the pace in Heat 1, so we're going to see how this turns out. Maybe these two trying to work together here. Philippe now. Is he going to get the better exit here? I think he has. Philippe Grand covering the inside there.
Philippe Grand's going to defend that. No, he isn't. Let's Mirko Bortolotti through. Oh, contact! Markus Steffel, you saw that coming from about 20 million kilometers away. Oh, more contact, more not holding your brakes. Philippe Bourgret, what are you doing? Oh no, stay where you are. That Porsche is gonna have trouble. Oh my lord.
Oh my.
Oh my, the amount of pancakes we've seen here this evening. And not American ones. No. Philippe Bourgret, a Romanian pancake for this evening.
Marco Steppel into the pits. Mirko Bortolotti opting to stay out.
Trying to chase down Robert Hega. Has the clean air now, has about 5.8 seconds of clean air ahead of him, Edwin.
Yeah, this could really work in his favor because Rafael Reinhofer do have a nice 5-second gap to Philippe Grand in front as well. But more importantly, Jonas Vanna is in traffic right now, so this could really benefit Mirko Bortolotti.
Well, that was the risk you took with stopping earlier. The question now is how quickly can Jonas Vanna get through that traffic? Here is Jonas Vanna, now has clean air in front of him as well. 1.3 seconds to chase down Maximilian Paul. Well, well, well. They meet again. And Maximilian Paul, being a Gas X driver as well, could help Mirko Bortolotti out here. But if Jonas Vanna catches up to him, he can obviously try to keep him behind him. And make him lose some extra time. Maximilian Paul has pitted as well, so he is in second position of the drivers who have pitted. Jonas Vanna, if he wants to win, has to overtake these two at least. So for Maximilian Paul, this is also fighting for position. Rafael Reinhofer is the driver who he's trying to catch up to.
Yeah, this is going to become quite a spicy battle between these three, I think. Because like you said, Jonas Vanna will want to get through because those two in front of him are for position. They don't have to make another stop. As Jens Fiedler is right behind Sean Thayer, trying to put some pressure on him. And quite a beautiful livery that as well. A little bit of a white Red Bull vibe.
Yeah, bit of a Red Bull from Japan vibe, that is.
I believe it was the Turkish Grand Prix in 2021 when they ran the white livery.
Yes, very indeed. I think it was a celebration livery for Honda back then. 100 Grand Prix or something with Honda.
Yes, they were supposed to use it at Japan, but Japan got cancelled that season, if I remember correctly. So
yes, that is very true. Some livery trivia there with Edwin Forslund. Robert Hega are leaders into the pits, and so is Mirko Bortolotti. Now let's see where they emerge.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now. Rafael Reinhofer, where will he or where will Mirko Bortolotti and Robert Higa emerge compared to Rafael Reinhofer?
Now keep in mind, Robert Hega is no slouch either here. Robert Hega, very quick himself indeed. There is the track map, look there. Rafael Reinhofer is coming through. I have a feeling Mirko Bortolotti is going to emerge behind them. Rafael Reinhofer into turn one now. This is going to be very close with Mirko Bortolotti. He's not going to have him. He's not going to have him. It's going to be a battle on the exit. And Mirko Bortolotti does indeed stay ahead of Rafael Reinhofer and can chase down Robert Hega. He's closed that gap by 2.5 seconds in the pit stops.
Yeah, there must be something with Mirko Bortolotti with his pit entrance and pit exits, because he's just gaining so much time every pit stop. He did the same in the Heat 1.
Absolutely sending it, that's what he's doing. But he has now Rafael Reinhofer, Maximilian Paul and Jonas Vanna behind him.
Yes, exactly, and I do not think Jonas Vanna is overly happy to see Mirko Bortolotti emerge in front of his pack. But that was the risk he took by pitting early and ending up in some traffic. So
Oh, having a look on the inside was Jonas Varner, not able to get through though, way too far back. But he has unsettled Maximilian Paul a little. And that's made it, so he can go to the inside for the chicane, looking on board once again with Jonas Varner. Once again, a bit of a slide on the exits, and he isn't able to get through. Jens Fiedler has overtaken Sean Ter. Here is Sean on the exit of the chicane, gets back up to the back of that Corvette. Is he going to be able to make it through? Yes, he is. Mirko Bortolotti, 2.5 seconds, gained another half a second after the pit stops. He's going to have to absolutely send it if he wants to catch up to Robert Hager.
He's also going to have to keep in mind he can't make a big mistake here if he's going to push, because he has Rafael Reinhofer right behind him. Keep in mind also Maximilian Pohl and Jonas Varner is not far behind. And I think that's a slowdown for Jonas Varner. Yes, it is. He's dropped a second to Maximilian Pohl there. So Jonas Varner maybe getting a little bit frustrated, stuck behind these and just over pushing it a little. But Rafael Reinhofer getting close to Mirko Bortolotti. 3 temps now. But you can just see Jonas Varner is just so quick. Instantly gains back 4 temps on Maximilian Pohl there. So
he's got the speed, he just can't get past, and I think that's the trouble that he and so many drivers have had for this evening. Maximilian Paul's now dropping back a bit for Mirko Bortolotti and Rafael Reinhofer. Robert Hager though, last time round set a personal best lap time and was 3/10 quicker than Mirko Bortolotti. Mirko was about 6/10 away from his personal best. So not ideal there for Mirko, but I mean, Robert Hager showing that he definitely deserves this victory.
yeah, absolutely. He's just managing that gap at this point, and Rafael Reinhofer dropping back a little bit now, but Jonas Varner is right up on the gearbox of Maximilian Pohl again. So we'll see. Is that another slowdown maybe? I saw him hopping over the chicane. Nope, not this time. But are we gonna see a move from Jonas Varner soon on Maximilian Pohl?
Now
He is close now.
The bottom right hand side is quite interesting. You can see the input from Rafael Reinhofer on the steering wheel, so smooth. Look at how smooth Rafael Reinhofer is on that one.
Yeah, that's one thing you do have to be with these cars. You have to be smooth with them. You can't just throw them around like you could maybe some other cars. But yeah, Rafael Reinhofer, good recovery tonight, I must say. But I'm also quite surprised by Robert Hager in the lead, that he's actually managing this as well as he's doing it right now, because he seems to have Mirko Bortolotti all under control.
Yeah, 2.6 seconds still the gap. Mirko Bortolotti only has about 4 minutes left before we end this race with the checkered flag. And it doesn't look like at the moment he's closing in quickly enough.
And Jonas Varner just can't seem to find a gap on Maximilian Pohl to get past.
Marcus Steffel did so well in the first race, got up into P3, now struggling a little bit more. He's down in P11, struggling to make these passes, I think. Not an easy track to make those passes anyways, Edwin, but I mean, with these cars that are so extremely wide, especially if you look at the BMW MA GTE, then oh boy, you're going to be in trouble trying to even go or look for a move.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a hard track to overtake on in general, because it's so tight, and yeah, like I've said before, not a lot of long straights. Can't really make all the use of the slipstream that you would want, but These drivers are looking for gaps everywhere, but just can't seem to find them. But Jonas Vane is very close now. Will he be looking up a move here into the chicane? Maybe he's got a little bit of a run, but I don't think this run is enough. No, it isn't, unless he's very confident on the brakes. But it's not really a chicane where you just send it up the inside either.
Oh,
Hopping
my
over
lord.
the chicane.
Look at the air time he got. Into the second of 3 chicanes we have here. Zolder catching right up to the back of the Ferrari once again.
Is he gonna try and move on the inside here? Yep, he's going for it.
He's
Maximilian
done
Paul.
hanging behind. But he also has to watch out he doesn't get a penalty for spinning Maximilian Paul around. Maximilian Paul knows how to defend. He doesn't drive in DTM for no reason. So he knows what he's doing. And that's paying off right now. Marco Bortolotti, 2.2 seconds. He's been gaining, but not quickly enough, Edwin. And it seems like with, I think, about 1.5 more laps to go, he's not going to have enough time.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but we can also see he has left Rafael Renhofer behind. So I just think, to be honest, that Mirko Bortolotti is just bringing the car home at this point. Maybe thinking about a little bit about the championship as well, but yeah, great job by Robert Tiga keeping that gap. And Rafael Renhofer might try something, but I don't really think he has the pace tonight, unfortunately, to challenge Mirko Bortolotti. But the interesting battle here for me is between Maximilian Paul and Jonas Vane. Is he closer this time around, maybe? Will he
He's just
try
too
it
far
again?
back. He's just too far back. He can't make a move. He's almost pushing that Ferrari through every corner, but he's just not close enough to make a move.
Yeah, it's like you said, he's just pushing that Ferrari through every corner, but he just can't seem to find a gap, or he just isn't as confident on the brakes maybe in this race as he was in the first one, because yeah, he's not braking much later than the others anymore.
No, the others obviously getting closer and closer to the limit as well. We are in the white flag lap. So that means Robert Hega at the front of the field will have to do everything one more time. He's done everything to perfection so far in this race. As Robert Hega through the chicane one more time, taking the jump. Don't hold back in anything, because that's when you start making mistakes. But so far on track, Robert Hega has been absolutely perfect. Hasn't made a single mistake so far. Into the right hander, Mirko Bortolotti getting close, getting closer, but it's not going to be enough, because he has one final chicane to round off, and he knows it, and he wants to know it. Robert Hega, one more left, one more right, and Robert Hega is a W12 Sprint Series winner at Zolder in the GTEs.
And there's quite a scrap going on for P4 now. Jonas Vane was ahead for a little bit. Coming down to the line, and Maximilian Paul stays P4.
41 thousandths of a second between him and Maximilian Paul. Battle for the back, Jordanovski on the back of Florian Becker. He's going to pull out of the slipstream. He's also not going to have enough. 84 thousandths of a second. Mario Trummer, Leon Baza, also not going to be enough. Oh, and then the drive through for Richter. Richter, who's done everything he had to do this evening. The driver who was in the lead in the silvers has got a drive through on the last lap of the race. And that's going to cost him dearly.
I would want to see a replay of that scrap between Jonas Vana and Maximilian Paul, because they were going at it up and down in the order. So we should have a look at that later on.
Oh, Maximilian Paul with his one single mistake on the last lap of the race. Coming out of the slowest right-hander, the Ziekenhuisbocht at Zolder. Brakes late, latest. And the rush to or the run to the line. Which we can't see because there's a roof in our way.
Seemed like the Ferrari just had the better acceleration out of the corner there, because Jonas Vana did go on throttle and power earlier, but yeah, Maximilian Paul just got the better acceleration out of the two.
Yeah, and that gives us the following results. Here we go. Robert Hega wins and is a W12 Sprint Series winner ahead of Mirko Bortolotti, who further increases his lead in the championship over his championship rivals. Rafael Renhofer in P3, Maximilian Paul P4, Jonas Vana 5th, Jens Fiedler 6th, Niels Langeveld in 7th, Markus Steffel in 8th, Florian Becker 9th, Marinko Jordanowski in 10th. 11th for Lucas Baza, Leon Blum in P12, Mario Trummer P13, Martin Stadtmann P14. Then Hendrik Augustin in 15th, Jan Lin 16th, Christian Ablers 17th, Philippe Grain 18th, Chanter 19th and 20th for Marius Zug. Dennis Richter in P21, Ivan Ferrari P22, Michael Döllinger in P23, Stefano Pellegrino, Ben Buhnagel, Yannick Wonenberg, Hugo Sasse, Thomas Kiefer, Andrea Frasinetti and Benedict Hitz. Together with Florian Stadtmann and Hugo Rob, all multiple laps down. Well, Edwin, that has been one of the races to remember. But before we go anywhere, we must pull our race winner of the feature race in server number 2 into the commentary booth, Robert Hega. First of all, congratulations and welcome into a very warm commentary booth.
Thank you very much, guys.
Robert, before the pit stops, the gaps to Mirko already stayed mostly the same. Then you made your pit stop. You saw that Mirko gained about 2 seconds during the pit stop phase. What were your thoughts back then?
Yeah, honestly, I was just, taking it really easy, and I put way too much fuel in, but I just wanted to make sure I could just drive through the whole stint and not fuel safe anymore. And yeah, it worked out just fine. Mirko closed up, it's true, but yeah, I think we managed quite good.
Yeah, and when you did come out of the pits in front of Mirko, in front of the whole field, once again, you emerged in first. Did you know you had that one in the pocket?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, take it easy and drive it home, and then I thought nobody could take it away anymore. Finally, I was a bit unlucky in the races before, did a mistake myself, and yeah, luckily I started from reverse grid and yeah, finished first. Nice one.
So tell us a bit more about how your first race was, because that didn't quite go to plan.
No. The first race in the LMP2 cars went quite good in the rain. I put on the slick tires from the start, which was a bit tricky. And then in the end, the slick was much quicker and I wanted to close up to P3 and go for the overtake. And yeah, I didn't wait long enough and did a mistake myself and finished, I think, P7. Yeah, unlucky, but important points.
All right. Well, Robert, congratulations on your victory and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.
Great to hear, Edwin, from Robert Hega, who, seeing this across the line, was ecstatic with that victory. Thank you for Robert Hega to coming in. Thank you for everyone at home for watching once again. It's been amazing. Edvin, thank you very much for being alongside me for tonight. We'll see you next week when W12 returns. For now, goodbye.